Advancing Seafarers' Rights. Key Outcomes of the 5th Special Tripartite Committee, STC of the MLC 2006. In a landmark development for the global maritime workforce, the 5th Special Tripartite Committee, STC of the Maritime Labor Convention, 2006, MLC 2006, convened at the International Labour Organization, ILO headquarters in Geneva, from 7-11 April 2025. The meeting, involving representatives from governments, shipowners, and seafarers, resulted in significant amendments aimed at strengthening protections and improving the quality of life for seafarers worldwide. This blog provides a detailed overview of the key amendments adopted, their significance, and real-world examples that underline why these changes were urgently needed. 1. Seafarers recognized as key workers. One of the most important outcomes was the official designation of seafarers as key workers. This recognition obligates governments to facilitate seafarers' movement for crew changes, repatriation, and medical care, including expedited visas and border crossings. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of crew mobility, with over 400,000 seafarers stranded at sea due to travel restrictions. By formally recognizing seafarers as essential workers, the international community aims to prevent a repeat of the 2020 crew change crisis and ensure the continuity of global trade even during emergencies. 2. Right to shore leave. Without visas, new provisions were introduced to strengthen seafarers' right to shore leave. Under the amendments, seafarers can go ashore without requiring visas, irrespective of their nationality or the ship's flag. The importance of shore leave cannot be overstated. After 9/11, immigration policies in many countries severely restricted shore leave. The pandemic further exacerbated this, with blanket bans keeping seafarers confined to their vessels. By ensuring the right to shore leave, with denials allowed only under narrowly defined circumstances like public health emergencies, the amendments aim to protect seafarers' mental health and morale. 3. Strengthened repatriation rights. The amendments clarify and reinforce seafarers' right to repatriation without discrimination based on nationality or flag. Shipowners are now expressly required to cover all repatriation costs, including travel, food, accommodation, luggage transportation, and necessary medical care. The pandemic highlighted the urgent need for this reform. Thousands of seafarers were stranded far from home with little support. Clear obligations and non-discrimination clauses ensure that no seafarer is abandoned at sea or left to navigate bureaucratic hurdles alone in times of crisis. 4. Eliminating shipboard violence and harassment. For the first time, the MLC includes explicit measures to prevent and address shipboard violence, harassment, and bullying, including sexual harassment. All shipowners must now have anti-harassment policies and training in place. Governments must legislate against shipboard violence, and safe reporting mechanisms must protect victims and witnesses from retaliation. This change responds to growing awareness of harassment issues at sea. Studies revealed that 17% of seafarers experienced bullying, with women facing disproportionately higher risks of sexual harassment. The new provisions seek to create safer, more inclusive shipboard environments. 5. Updated medical care standards. The STC endorsed the use of the 2023 International Medical Guide for Seafarers and Fishers for onboard medical training and for updating the contents of ship medicine chests. Seafarers, often isolated from immediate medical assistance, need up-to-date and specialized medical resources. This change ensures better emergency preparedness, more reliable self-treatment protocols, and improved outcomes during medical crises at sea. 6. Provision of properly sized PPE shipowners must now supply personal protective equipment, PPE, that fits all seafarers appropriately, recognizing the physical diversity among modern crews. Historically, safety gear was often designed for an average male build, leaving women and smaller-built seafarers with poorly fitting equipment. Ensuring properly sized PPE improves both safety and dignity aboard. 7. Menstrual hygiene facilities. Ships are now recommended to provide menstrual hygiene products and disposal systems for seafarers who need them. This simple yet important step addresses a long-ignored need, making ships more inclusive and supportive for female crew members. 8. Enhanced complaint procedures and whistleblower protections. Seafarers will now be able to file complaints not just through the master or flag state, but also directly to appropriate shoreside personnel. The amendments also explicitly protect complainants, witnesses, and whistleblowers from retaliation. This empowers seafarers to report grievances, whether unpaid wages, harassment, or safety breaches, without fear, ensuring accountability and fostering safer work environments. 9. Ensuring fair treatment of seafarers. In legal proceedings, governments are now required to respect international fair treatment guidelines when investigating maritime accidents or crimes involving seafarers. This addresses the long-standing issue of criminalization of seafarers. Past incidents like the Hebei Spirit case, where crew members were unfairly detained after an oil spill, underline the urgent need for clear protections ensuring legal representation, consular assistance, and humane treatment. 10. Addressing fatigue and working hours. While not an immediate amendment, the STC adopted a resolution to form a joint ILO-IMO working group to study seafarer fatigue and potentially harmonize hours of work, chalk rest standards in the future. Fatigue is a serious safety and health concern in the maritime industry, and the ongoing work signifies an important commitment to protecting seafarers' well-being over the long term. Conclusion: the 5th STC's outcomes mark a watershed moment in maritime labor rights. By addressing the lessons of the pandemic, combating harassment, enhancing medical care, and reinforcing fundamental protections like repatriation and shore leave, these amendments solidify the MLC 2006 as a true Seafarers' Bill of Rights. However, adoption is only the first step. Effective implementation and enforcement at the national and industry level will determine whether these hard-won rights translate into tangible improvements in seafarers' lives. The maritime community has shown it can come together in a spirit of solidarity. Now, the real work begins. To ensure that every seafarer on every ship benefits from these critical protections.